ZEPTO, a quick com company, is recently in news, and this is because it was supposed to launch an IPO in the year 2025, but it has delayed it by 1 year, and now it will be bringing up this particular IPO issue in the next year, 2026. So, why? What was the reason behind this particular delay? Now, there are things which are being stated about ZEPTO that it is going into a problem era, and so here we are to understand the reasons for the fall of ZEPTO. At the same time, this is a very essential case for people who want to understand things related to business and related to commerce, why and how business survives, and at the same time, how business can go into a downward swing and how it can, what could be the reasons behind its fall. So, what are the pillars basically of the business survival? This is what we can understand from this case of ZEPTO. And so, let us proceed and understand the details related to this in this video of Commerce Gyan. So, first of all, let us understand how ZEPTO started to begin with. And we're just going to talk about it in brief, where ZEPTO was founded in July 2021 by Adit Palincha and Kaivalya Vora. And its office was headquartered in Bangalore. Then it shifted to Mumbai, and again they have gone back to Bangalore. This is what is the recent news. Now, by 2024, it had around 250 dark stores across 10 metropolitan cities of India. Now, earlier they had actually founded Kirana Cart, which was facilitating grocery deliveries. It did not succeed much. So then in 2021, they thought of ZEPTO, and they launched it with a lot of money put in. And also many investors from different countries have put their money into ZEPTO. ZEPTO has a lot of competitors. Now, main competitors that ZEPTO have, and we all know about them, are Swiggy, Zomato, and Blinkit. Why was then what led to, I mean, ZEPTO also launched quite well and was running quite well. Then what were the key criticisms that ZEPTO faced and the problem areas that ZEPTO had? The first one was the dark patterns. Now, what happens when you actually buy groceries online? Suppose you add 10 items in your cart, and when you buy it, you pay the amount, and then the things arrive. You suddenly notice that there is one more extra item which has come in your bill, and one more item which has actually which you didn't order has come to your house, and you have paid for it. Now, when did this happen? This is something which is called as a dark pattern. So these are tricks which many of the online e-com services are actually applying. They just add a very random article to your cart based on maybe your previous purchases or maybe what your choice. Maybe you may not deny it, decline it, because it's something which you buy often. So they study that, and basically the app adds that item without you knowing. You, if you are smart enough, you would naturally check the things added in your cart once before you make the payment. Now, once you click on the pay and once it's gone as an order from your end, you can do nothing, right? So these are the dark patterns which many apps follow, and even ZEPTO is criticized about this. The problem with ZEPTO is basically that other companies also do it, but ZEPTO was accused to be doing it more and more. Recently, there was a raid on the ZEPTO godowns, and basically hygiene and quality issues were noticed. Dharavi area, what we had heard of, and the storage issues which were connected to the quality problems and hygiene, and people were really dissatisfied looking at the news that followed, stating that, oh, we buy from these type of warehouses, and then naturally people who want hygiene and who want good quality would naturally opt for some other competitor. They may just go for Blinkit, they may go for even Big Basket or any other such things which is available in your area. Now, why ZEPTO is criticized, another important thing is about order cancellations. Many of the customers had complained that they placed the order, they paid for it, and then they got a cancellation. So the item is not available, the delivery service is not available, whatever reasons, the order got cancelled. And so naturally, this is causing inconvenience to the customers. Missing items was another reason. People said that we have actually ordered 10 items and we got only 6 or we got only 9 or whatever the case is. So the items which were ordered were missed out, they were not given properly, and so it led to inconvenience to many consumers. So consequences which followed were natural. There was a decline in the user activity where ZEPTO saw its monthly users fall down from January onwards. It had a little rise in this year, but again, after that store incident took place and after they had these kind of experiences about ZEPTO, they found that in April, May, people had started opting out of ZEPTO, especially the ones who were the frequent buyers and the class of people who wanted quality and hygiene to be maintained. And obvious another impact was that the app downloads also shrinked. You can see the numbers right from 16 to 3.6. It has gone down from January this year to May. So quite a big fall for the app downloads. Another consequence which follows when the business shrinks and business pillars start, the reputation starts going down, is basically the employees leave. So same thing happened with Zepto and Endeavor around in the last 13 months time. In May 2025, they found that Zepto had a fall in the employees. The people started resigning, and there were 100 plus employees on the payroll who resigned and who left Zepto. Now, the JP Morgan report also stated that in April and May, Swiggy Instamart added nearly 118 dark stores, Blinkit added 98, and Zepto added only 22 stores. So, Zepto was supposed to add quite a bit more number of stores, but it landed up adding only 22 stores, which is quite less. And Blinkit is said to have the largest network. So, Blinkit is growing at a very large, to a very large extent in comparison with Zepto. And so, if the competitor grows and if they're providing good service, naturally people are just inclined to buy from them. Now, fundraising wise, Zepto has concentrated first on private equities. They wanted to launch the IPO, but as I told you, that the IPO process is delayed from the year 25 to 26. Now, if you see the fundraising pattern, if you look at the current valuation, Zepto has a valuation of nearly $5 billion. And offshore investors are there who are like Nexus Venture Partners, Latchy Group, Glade Group Capital, Stepstone Group, and all this. And news is that they want to reduce this foreign holdings from foreign holdings to less than 50%. So if you see this particular graph, there are different people who are the shareholders currently in Zepto, and they want to change this pattern to domestic, more of domestic investors than the foreign investors. Now, reason I will tell you, a very important reason why they want to do this is because foreign direct investment is allowed to the extent of 100% only if it is a single brand retail. You can't have a single brand under the heads like Blinkit or like Swiggy or like Zepto. They have to have multiple brands, because consumers like you and me, when they buy, we are going to look at different brands and then make a choice. So you have to have multi-brand. And multi-brand retail outlets are having an FDI allowance of only maximum 51%. So if you're having more than 51% of foreign holdings, there are restrictions which are there from the government's end on holding of inventory, and other several other things follow. So those who want to grow in the retail segment would not want the foreign investment to be more than 51%, because then they will have a lot of restrictions, and so the business naturally cannot grow. That's the reason Zepto wanted to bring up that IPO as soon as possible so that they could grow and flourish in the business of retail, trade, and e-com. So Zepto's key persons have actually commented on this. They said that this IPO delay has nothing to do with the cases of storage, and those issues were really small, and they were not very grave. It did not have a great impact on our business. That is what they mentioned. And they are saying that Zepto is currently just wanting to stabilize its operations. They want to improve on quality. They want to improve on things like lowering of the costs and market stability they want to gain. And that's the reason they want to actually delay the IPO. At the same time, they're currently also focusing on profitability and increase in the profitability. So this is what the key persons mentioned about Zepto, why it delayed the IPO. For us, if we have to look at this particular Zepto case as to study what are the pillars of the business and what gives strength to the business, we will understand these key things. The first important thing on the pillar on which the business stands is reputation. So if you forego this reputation, if the reputation is spoiled, it takes a long time. And specifically, if you have good people in competition, your reputation should never be at stake, because once it goes down, it's a big problem to again regain it back, specifically when you have heavy competitors. So second point of the business pillars would be the competitors. Who are there? You should study them. What are their moves? How they are actually bringing in different products? What are their stand? What is their cost? Everything has to be studied. So competitors are, you can say, the survival pillars. So if your competitor is going down, you are in a good position. Third important thing is employees are an important pillar of your business, and if key persons, good employees start leaving your organization, it will never go upwards. Then comes the cost. Cost reduction strategies have to be implemented, just like Zepto is saying that we want to reduce on the cost, improve on our quality, and so on. Finally, we have capital and profit. So investors who are there should be investing in such a way that the core promoters of that particular group are in an advantageous position. They don't lose the control over the business, and at the same time, you get capital into your capital working into your business. Now, how you get the capital, by way of equity, by way of debt, that's a different story. So it depends on business to business how they raise the funds. Will it be from foreign competitors or will it be from Indian people? That also depends on different rules, regulations, and your own thought process about that particular fundraising. And finally, about profits. Profits is a very important thing, obviously, why you do business. But profits will be at stake if your reputation is at stake, if your costs go high, and different other circumstances prevail. So, profitability should be studied closely, monitored closely from time to time, and how you can increase profits, how you can build on your profits and build not just for a short time but for a longer duration in such a way that they are making sustainable profits. This is a very important area, and you have to put in the thought process of the business into this key component. So, hope this case of Zepto helps you to understand these different pillars of business organizations and how they can survive. So, these are, like you can say, the surviving pillars of the business. In case you have not joined the journey of commerce, can do subscribe to our channel so that you can get more such updates on the field of commerce, in the studies of commerce, and you can actually have a bigger and better understanding of this area of economics, of legal things which impact business, of different rules and regulations that are framed by the government, and so on. So hope to see you in the next video of Commerce Camp. Thank you.